Houston, we have a problem. And that problem is that Raw kinda sucked. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Next week, Raw is in Las Vegas. We're getting Eric Bischoff's Spin the Wheel, the Las Vegas roulette wheel. Can't wait for that. This week, though, we're in Houston, Texas, and we kind of got stolen. We had a good show stolen away from us. We didn't get it. Somebody came like a Booker T thief in the night and stole away a good Raw. And what we got left with was just a bunch of boring shit, to be honest, tonight. I wasn't digging Raw at all. A lot of matches that just weren't interesting. A weird placement of a world title match during the... And I hate it every time Triple H is defending the world title and you know that he's going to win. They just put it on during the middle of the show. They did it with Ric Flair. I think they did it with Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
I think they did it with Spike Dudley. And, I mean, I get it. These guys ain't going to beat Triple H, but, I mean, it should be the main event. For me, the world title should be the main event. I don't know why they're doing it top of the hour. Is it a ratings thing? Do they think that Triple H is the big Trips ratings and they think they'll triple the ratings if he wrestles on the top of the hour? Is that when the NFL gets ready to kick off the second quarter and they send Triple H out there?
Hail Mary, Triple H. His fucking nose is the size of the field. Come on, man.
As for Heat, Jacqueline beat Molly Holly, Spike Dudley beat Just Incredible, Stevie Richards beat the Hurricane, and Raven beat D'Lo Brown. So, I mean, on Heat, we've got Steven Richards beating the Hurricane, who is currently
Even
one
Jacqueline beating Molly Holly's weird.
Yeah, because Molly Holly just had that long run, and now she's lost it. It looks like she's just, disappearing.
I'll tell you what, right?
But why is Hurricane losing to Steven Richards?
I'll show you.
Now, normally I wouldn't have an issue with it, and I guess you could say it's Heat, so it doesn't really matter, but it's a bit weird that
It matters to me, damn
Hurricane's just won the tag team titles, and how's he going to celebrate it? By losing to Stevie Richards on Heat?
Well, that's it, but I think the problem with this show is it started in the first segment. Lita. What the hell happened to my foot, man?
I don't know, Lita...
Well, 2 hours! No, right, why is she kicking off the show with Bischoff, man?
It just seems so out of place. Eric Bischoff's in the ring with Lita. He says there's going to be 3 titles on the line tonight. Women's, Intercontinental, and the World title. He says the World Champion will take on the IC Champion at No Mercy with both titles on the line. And he says that Raw is going to have one World Champion. I don't understand this. I don't know why Bischoff is all of a sudden trying to make belts undisputed and get away with... Like, you look at the brand split, or the draft in 2002, McMahon and Flair... Their goal was to try and get as many belts as possible on their show. They were trying to draft people with belts. But Bischoff is trying to unite belts and unify belts.
I think we need a championship committee.
Now, I get it. You don't want too many belts, but let's be honest. The IC belt and World title are fucking massive belts. They've got a lot of prestige. They don't need to be unified. I mean, I think you can argue the European and Intercontinental Championship, yes. But I don't even think the IC and Hardcore title need it unified, because the Hardcore title's a separate division on its own. It's basically just a way to get fucking bums and jobbers a bit of TV time and give them and let them fight over a belt that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
And have hardcore / comedy segments. I think the Hardcore title's a perfect title to have, especially this era of Raw when, Eric Bischoff wanted to do a lot of crazy shit and he's talking about, controversy and creates cash, entertainment. The Hardcore title is entertainment.
It is undisputed.
But for some reason, he got rid of it, and now he's talking about combining the Intercontinental Championship and the World title. Then he turns his attention to Lita. He's got a problem with Lita, because Lita said on WWE.com that SmackDown was better than Raw. Bischoff calls Lita a little bitch. Bischoff says that Lita is worthless since she broke her neck in Hollywood. Lita says if Bischoff had a little respect for his talent, that they might have some respect for him. Basically, I dig here that nobody came to save you when Rikishi's big fat ass was in your face. Bischoff said he doesn't care what Lita thinks. Bischoff says he's basically listened to Lita for about 3 minutes, and then Rosie, Jamal, and Rico run in, they corner Lita. Jeff Hardy tries to make the save. Doesn't really work, but then Goldust and Booker T come down and make the save, and this kind of did work. Booker T, Goldust are in the ring. Bischoff's no happy, and he orders Rosie and Jamal versus Booker and Goldust. The match starts immediately, and surprisingly, Jamal and Rosie win, but they don't pin Goldust. They pin Booker T.
Can you dig it in his hometown?
Can you dig it, sucker?
Fun fact, Rosie and Jamal's first match on Raw, and I'm already kind of sick of seeing them.
I like the gimmick. I like the fact that they're Bischoff's henchmen, and I like the whole 3-minute thing, 3-minute warning. But in ring, like, they're not great. See, when it comes to actually wrestling a match, they're okay coming out and hitting a couple of high impact maneuvers. But in terms of actually wrestling, like, they're not great. Like,
No, they're not. And Booker T, man. Him and Goldust. Booker T needs to move on.
well, maybe Goldust needs to move on. Booker T's the one that lost the match here.
I tell you what, like, Goldust hasn't really been eating that many pins.
Goldust maybe getting a world title push soon, who knows? Then we get an interview with Coach, Rosie and Jamal. Coach asks the trio what their goal is here on Raw. Rico says his goal is to lead the most dominant team in WWE Tag Team Gold. And Jamal says if anybody gets in their way, they will give them the 3-minute warning. And I guess this is them coining the phrase 3-minute warning. So officially, they're going to be known as 3-minute warning going forward. With a backstage segment with the Un-Americans, Christian and Lance, arguing over whose fault it was last week that lost the title. Tess walks in and tells them to stop acting like a bunch of whiny Americans, Regal enters, tells Christian to let Lance prepare for his match against Randy Orton. So we're getting Lance versus Randy Orton, and even the sound of that match just bores me.
I'm falling asleep here.
Yeah, up next we've got an interview, Terry and Chris Jericho. Terry's asking Jericho if he's worried about facing Kane tonight. Y2J says he will beat Kane and go straight to the main event of No Mercy. Y2J says that Kane's chances of winning are about as real as Terry's chest, which I don't think is real. So yeah, nice wee line there.
Cheap pop for Jericho for me.
Jericho. Then we get Gregory Helms, Ace Reporter. He steps in freshly off his defeat on Sunday Night Heat, and he asks Jericho how he thinks he can beat Kane. What's up with that? Y2J says that freaks are not cool. Freaks are losers. Y2J says he is cool. He's a champion. He's a rock star. Damn it. Then Kane steps in, chases Y2J off. Terry says, by the way, Kane last week was great. Gives Kane a big kiss. Terry walks away, and then Kane tells Helms that chicks dig the mask. Funny. Alright, wee segment.
That was good. Everyone.
The best thing up to this point on the show, I think.
Easily, but things are about to go downhill. Randy Orton, green. 2 matches in a row. God damn.
More like just boring. Fucking boring.
No.
This hairstyle doesn't work for Randy Orton. He looks like I don't know.
No, it does it for me though, right? Lance Storm and Christian give Andy Andy. Who the fuck's Andy? They give Randy the rub here, right? And like, all you're thinking about is the fact that Un-Americans have lost back to back. For me, this boosted Orton in no way. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I didn't really think, wow, Orton's done well here. I was thinking more the Un-Americans are imploding.
Yeah, they were portraying it more as like an Un-American implosion rather than, oh, Randy Orton's did really well here at defeat both of these guys.
So he beats Lance Storm. Christian comes out, makes funny Lance for losing, steals JR's cowboy hat, gets in the ring, loses to Randy Orton quicker than Lance Storm did. Randy Orton celebrates. Lance then tells Christian, you dropped the ball too. Christian is unhappy, he's banging the mat, going back to his wee tamper tantrums, and then Randy Orton takes the cowboy hat and puts it back on JR's head. So JR praises Randy Orton. That's a good kid. I'm sure he'll be bashing the
Bob Orton boy.
I'm sure he'll be bashing him in 6 months when he joins Evolution. Backstage with Eric Bischoff and Jeff Hardy. Eric tells Jeff not to stick his nose in his business again. He doesn't care whose girlfriend that is. I wanted to punish her, and now Eric's going to punish Jeff. He says, tonight, you're fighting the Big Show. Jeff already fought him last week. Don't know why he needs to fight him again. And Eric tells Jeff that he's beginning to feel like he got the bad Hardy on Raw, considering what we've seen Mattitude do on SmackDown. And you know what? To be fair, that's a fair point, 100% fair point. Since Matt moved to SmackDown, he has been better than Jeff. He's been more relevant than Jeff. He's been involved in better matches than Jeff, better segments than Jeff. He's felt more important than Jeff. Matt, albeit a minor part, has been part of the World Heavyweight Championship feud, the WWE Championship feud on SmackDown. Jeff's basically been a guy that sits backstage and watches tapes and then gets thrown in a match against the Big Show every week. So
he's been resulted here to help him later.
There is no doubt that Matt Hardy at the moment is the better Hardy, and Eric Bischoff seems to know that. But
who's the better Big Show though?
There is no better Big Show. Ric Flair walks in and asks Bischoff what he wants. Bischoff basically rants about Jeff Hardy. Ric Flair's like, oh, I tried talking to him weeks ago. That kid doesn't care. No, maybe you don't care, Rick. You turned your back on everyone. Let's be real. Rick says he wants to make sure Eric isn't going to make him wrestle RVD tonight. Rick says he is working on bringing in some ex-SmackDown talent. So Ric Flair looks like he's afraid of RVD. He does not want a piece of Mr. Rob Van Dam, and can't really blame him after costing him the title. Ric Flair knows he's probably going to get his old ass whooped if he gets in the ring with RVD. 11th match, Jeff Hardy versus Big Show.
Jacqueline is referee. What was this?
I'm not too sure why this was the case. I think Jacqueline does do the odd match on Raw as a referee, but why? They haven't mentioned it. I mean, I guess they don't need to mention it, but...
Yeah, no, but a wee mention of Jacqueline's trying her hand at the refereeing job.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't know, Jack of all trades. Jackie of all trades.
Jackie boy.
Anyway, late in the match, Jeff Hardy drop kicks Big Show over the guardrail. King says Big Show landed on his head, his big fat head, although we didn't see it, but King is adamant that Big Show landed on the back of his head. Jackie starts the count. Jeff makes it in at 9. Big Show is still over the barricade at the count of 10, but as soon as Jackie gets to 10, he jumps over the barricade like a Olympian runner in the 100-meter sprint with the hurdles. Jumps over the barricade, gets into the ring. Jeff's already halfway up the ramp, and then Big Show runs towards the ropes and attempts to grab out and reach Jeff, even though Jeff's on top of the fucking Titantron. I know you're the Big Show. I know you've got large arms, but you're not Stretch Armstrong. You're not grabbing Jeff for there. So
where is Big Show going for here? How does this guy beat Brock Lesnar in less than a month? Well, maybe not
less than a month.
A month and a half at this point, man.
Not looking good. Then we go backstage with Booker T and Jericho. Booker confronts Jericho about calling him a loser. Jericho runs down his resume and demands Booker show him some respect. Booker tells Jericho he's going to get his ass kicked by a 5-time WCW champion in H-Town. Jericho tells Booker that he is lucky he's already got a match tonight. So Jericho just doesn't want any part
Doesn't
of
want
Booker.
double duty tonight, does he?
He doesn't. And Booker T, I mean, I just feel like his hometown could have done something better for Booker tonight.
Yeah, he literally lost to Jamal and Rosie, and here he is trying to batter Jericho.
Can he beat Jamal and Rosie? Can he beat Jericho, can you? Then we get Bubba. He comes into the ring, sets a table up. Hey, he has difficulty setting the table up. It keeps falling.
It was very awkward.
Finally, he has to stretch the top leg out and then lean it against the apron turnbuckle pads, which he should have done at the beginning. I don't know why he didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a guy to set up a table in wrestling, it would be Bubba Ray.
Yeah, I think Bubba Ray would know how to get a table to sit. But it didn't really matter, because after he spray paints Triple H on it, the table disappears. So it's like, he said it might not be tonight, but sooner or later, you're going to go through this table. Why not tonight?
I kind of feel like their feud's over after tonight.
Yeah, why not tonight?
Yeah, why not? Like, I mean, if it's going to be tonight... But then, he says this as if, he didn't try and put him through a table last week.
Yeah, Bubba says that tonight is about him and earning the right to be called world champion. Bubba thinks he's going to become world champion. Unfortunately, though, Bubba does not become world champion. Ric Flair interfered. Bubba had Triple H covered, but Charles Robinson was distracted by Flair. Bubba then knocks Flair off the apron, but gets hit with a pedigree. 1, 2, 3. Triple H wins. It is what it is.
It's a nothing match, but hey, at least it ain't like Jeff Jarrett and TNA.
Nothing match. It's for the world fucking title.
Yeah, I know, but like you said, middle of the card, there's no hope for Bubba Ray here.
I'll tell you what, I think Bubba Ray would make a better world champ right now than Triple H.
Well, of course he would.
I like Bubba Ray at the moment. You know, Bubba Ray could have probably got an IC title run. It's a shame that he didn't. Especially heading into Survivor Series, because I mean you've got Jericho and then RVD and Kane, but they all want to be world champion. So I don't really see the point of putting an IC belt on them. And then you've got Bischoff saying that he's going to combine the two. Why not just give Bubba Ray the IC belt and let him have a good run with that? I would have liked to have seen Bubba Ray have the mid-card title, and I mean, who knows, maybe if that happened, the Dudleys wouldn't go back together. Maybe they would have realised, wait, Bubba's money here on his own, but that didn't happen. Unfortunately, Triple H wins. Backstage, Victoria attacks Triple H before their match. Trish was putting her makeup on or whatnot. Trish attacks her and strips her top off. King got excited. Victoria tells Trish that she wants the women's title. Women's title match up next. Trish versus Victoria. Trish changed her gear in like 2 sets. I thought she was going to maybe wrestle in her bra. Unfortunately, not. We don't get that. We get a fight between Trish and Victoria. Victoria smashes a chair over Trish's head, causing a disqualification. I mean, pretty good chair shot. Trish didn't block it. She just legitimately smashed her over the head with it. So, good stuff. Officials restrain Victoria and force her to the backstage area. And already, just in the space of like a week, you can see that Victoria is turning into this like crazy person. And I think that's what they need, a bit of fresh blood in this women's division, because it felt like we've been getting Trish versus Molly Holly now for the best part of 6 months.
It has been.
So, if they want to do something with Victoria and, rather than her just be, oh, I'm the best female wrestler here, they're going to try and adopt a crazy gimmick on her, which I think works. So, good stuff. Backstage, Eric Bischoff and Stacey Keibler. Stacey tells Bischoff that she's facing Trish in the semi-finals of the Internet Babe of the Year. So, I'm going to assume this is between other things other than just wrestling. I'm going to assume this is like multiple sports, entertainment things.
I think so. I think that's the way it was explained, so we'll have to wait and see.
I don't know how many people were in it. I don't know exactly who was in it, but Trish and Stacey are meeting in the semis.
And who's in the other semis?
Stacey complains that Trish is getting a lot of exposure since she is the women's champion. Stacey asks Bischoff for some exposure on Raw. Jerry King Lawler wanted some exposure too. Bischoff says that Stacey can spin his wheel and make a match. So he shows her the roulette wheel. He says next week we're going to have this wheel. Every match is going to have a special stipulation decided by the wheel. And Bischoff says that Stacey will take on Trish next week with a special stipulation. And Stacey thinks about the possible matches that she can get and then thanks Bischoff and says it's a great idea. I mean, it is. Eric Bischoff, he's just doing all this innovative shit on Raw. He's coming up with all these good ideas. And then on SmackDown, I mean, you've got Stephanie McMahon, who's pretty much just there at this point.
Yeah, she is there. And you know what? I've just realised something going into the next segment. You've got Coach Ric Flair and Jericho. Was Jericho and Ric Flair literally not in a big, massive feud for the past 2 months?
Yeah.
Is the editor note just pointed... Fuck, I didn't even click on to that. This is... What's going on here?
It's a crazy what a heel turn can do for you, like...
No, you know what? This is like the most Evolution light edition you're ever going to get of Evolution. Like, Ric Flair's still not got his mojo back, but he's like, he's still throwing the drink over his shoulder, and Triple H is not exactly growing out a good... It's just like a pish version of Evolution. Yeah,
Coach is looking for an interview with Triple H. Coach enters Triple H's locker room. There's women there. Triple H is in the shower. There's women in the shower. There's women everywhere. Jericho comes in. He wants to talk about Triple H.
Hit the bricks, kid.
Yeah, Triple H tells Cole to hit the coach to hit the bricks. Triple H then says he needs to finish his shower. Jericho says, aye, why not? I'll sit here next to Ric Flair. Turns around to one of the women and goes, hey, I'm a huge rock star, Chris Jericho. She didn't know who he was, so...
Fozzy sucks.
But yeah, these guys have been feuding. Ric Flair and Triple H have been feuding for like... I mean, I guess you could argue Triple H and Ric Flair were feuding too. But, I mean...
Okay, yeah, no, but they've actually, like,
A heel turn in wrestling just makes everything okay.
No, but the problem with that is, like, Ric Flair and Triple H, it was leading to that. It was leading to, like, Ric Flair doing something about it, and at least he acknowledged it in a promo. Like, it's not like he sat down beside Flair here and he's like, here, that's everything under the bridge, isn't it, big man? There was nothing.
Under the bridge. Up next, tag team match, RVD and Tommy Dreamer versus William Regal and Test. Just another match thrown together. I mean, look, I like everybody in this match, but it just felt like it was not necessary. RVD with a super kick on Test, and Dreamer rolls him up for the win.
See when Tommy Dreamer's the hot tag?
Yeah, it's like...
Did he even exist?
Andy gets the win as well. I mean, if they're going to have him win, can you not fucking hit the Dreamer DDT or the Dreamer Driver?
I think it's insane how strongly Tommy Dreamer's been booked in this brand split.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, it's...
Fucking world title shots... unification matches against Van Damme, winning against credible people.
Yeah, it's mental.
Injuring people and like in storyline sense, fucking writing off Nowinski.
Lance Storm and Christian then run down, and the Un-Americans start to brawl with each other. Storm and Regal get Test and Christian at the ring, and then RVD and Tommy clear the ring of Storm and Regal, and RVD and Tommy are left in the ring, and the Un-Americans... Is this the end of the Un-Americans?
I think it's a bit of a lackluster way for them to end, but I know Regal and Lance Storm do become a tag team, so hey, that's what this set up, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's just it doesn't make any sense to me. A couple of mistakes and they're just exploding. I don't get that because for
Couple of whiny
run,
Americans.
for the run that they've had, they've been unified, they've been solid, they've shown solidarity with each other. Now all of a sudden they're willing just to throw it all away because
they've lost a few matches against Randy Orton.
Yeah, again, I don't get it. I don't get it. Then 20th segment of the night, Intercontinental title, main event match, Chris Jericho versus Kane. Good match.
You know what?
Pretty good.
I thought it was I think it was a great match. The only problems with it for me was Ric Flair and Triple H. I don't think they were needed. Yeah. Obviously, like Jericho's the heel. That's why I went into the office. Blah blah blah. But botches for Triple H and Ric Flair just looking done didn't help it.
Yeah, Ric Flair selling Kane's punches, man. It's like just old man Ric Flair. Like he looks like he's done here. Triple H goes to hit a spine buster on the outside, and I mean Kane almost
it's a belly to belly.
Looked really poor. But the match itself I thought was pretty good. Kane in the end wins with a choke slam, lots of counters, lots of fake finishes. But
good working of the legs for Jericho.
Yeah, Kane with a choke slam, pins Jericho, 1, 2, 3. Kane is the new Intercontinental Champion. He's also one half of the Tag Team Champions, and he will now face Triple H at No Mercy for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Just like I said weeks ago, this is what Kane should be doing. He shouldn't be, messing around with the Un-Americans or... I mean, I know he's still a tag team champ with Hurricane, I get that, but I think this is the role he should be in, not fucking tag teaming with Goldust.
Which makes me wonder, what's going to happen to the Intercontinental Championship?
Well, I can't ever recall Triple H holding both.
Will it be made vacant?
That could happen. But then, if it's to made vacant, what's the point of this whole unification? Why can't you just have a champion against champion match?
Could Triple H have the belt and hand it down to someone?
Ric Flair? I don't recall Ric Flair having the belt.
No, I don't. So I'm interested to see what happens with a Continental title because honestly, I can't remember. But that was the end of Raw, guys. Like it wasn't a bad Raw. I said at the beginning of the video it sucked. It didn't suck, but I'm used to better.
It didn't suck.
The Eric Bischoff era has been a high standard, and this just didn't really live up to it. So it is what it is. I'm going to give this Raw a 5 out of 10.
I'll go give this Raw a 5 out of 10 as well. Triple H, the Reign of Terror, it's not even in full swing yet, man. I want it out the door.
Full swing? It's not even... He's not even picked up the club yet.
No, look at how people he's buried, though. Bubba, Van Damme, Jeff Hardy.
Kaneson.
I mean, I was going to mention Spike, but I mean, Spike doesn't really need buried.
Well, he's not buried Tommy Dreamer yet. And if he ever faces Tommy Dreamer... the title is going home to the land of extreme.
And that's it, guys. Until next time. Top 5 moments very soon. And peace.